YouTube yet. Just see. Hmm. Is it move? I don't see it going live.
Haven't I haven't got a notification yet.
Weird.
I think I just got my notification.
Oh, let's see. Oh, there we go.
We're live.
Okay. Welcome to the Grandmaster Level Show. I don't even know what episode it is at this point. I guess 423. It's up there. I think, well, there's definitely wait, yeah, there's definitely a good 400 plus episodes. Or no, maybe not 400. Uh no, over 200 and something though for sure. Anyways, it's been a while, guys. Nice to see everybody. Today I was just so tired. I almost couldn't do the show. Just a couple days ago, I almost had my fingers taken off. If I didn't have the reflexes that I have, I would have lost my hand. My father-in-law, I was helping him build like a big brick retaining wall with like each rock, or not brick, rock, and they're like, 200 to 300 pound rocks. And were having them piled up, and there was one that we're trying to fit in between the other. And I got out of the excavator and I just put my hand on it, and I was like, oh, I think I could just push this one a little bit. And I meant with the machine, and then like I put my weight with the rock, and I guess on how it was balanced, somehow it twisted and it just came down. And I pulled my hand out, and I got two of my fingers crushed, and my third one, it just ripped the finger right up. I had to go get stitches, and I'm just lucky. I started thinking about how lucky I am to have a hand because I just about lost it.
Very lucky.
Yeah, well, you saw the video of it, huh? That was oh man, I was
Yeah.
like when it first happened, I thought I might have lost my finger. There was so much blood coming out at first, but it clotted. And yeah, I just so I had that. Was I hate needles, man, and I'll tell you, like the when we were at the hospital in emergency, he's holding it like a dagger, like the freezing, and he's like, I had to get a tetanus shot, it's nothing, and he's like, okay, one, two, three, and he literally almost like stabs it into my hand, and they pump so much freezing that it like makes your finger almost double. It takes like 20 seconds. Anyways, I'm not a needle guy, so wasn't impressed with that, but sure liked the
No,
freezing once it was done.
I fucking hate needles. I'm
Mm.
fine if I don't see it. I'm a big baby if I see it. Makes me like get upset, like my
Yeah,
stomach upset, and I want to get sick. And
exactly. That's exactly how I'm feeling. Just one second here. I'm going to just get this chat working out for me here on YouTube. So guys, it's going to be just a kind of a shorter show today, just like an hour. Um, so everybody obviously knows with the Migro post, and after that one post that I made, I had multiple people kind of like asking me questions or challenging it, or basically saying there's like holes in what we were investigating. So I thought I'd like to just kind of address everything. This all started, like I said, anyone who watched the video, because someone reached out to me saying, some that they were getting um, restricted and having comments deleted just for asking a simple question. So Migro ended up making a response video. And instead of me making a response to the response video, I'll just say it here, and this is pretty much the end of it. So in his video, he said that he just forgot to update his specs. And that was basically the main thing. And then he also
oh,
said,
you should explain for people that they might not know the situation, what happened. So,
oh,
like the main overview of the look of it is once somebody got a hold of you after they were questioning what the claims were on the website and what they were going to get, what diodes exactly were on the light. They started
yeah,
getting ghosted and they got a hold of you asking you your opinion. And then
I looked
you
at the
just said,
light.
yeah,
Yeah,
you said,
I
I don't
looked at
like
the
it doesn't
spec.
look right.
Yeah, well, like I said, I have like this weird thing of when I look at spectrums, and we've made so many spectrums, like I can really, and a lot of times, see if something is wrong or not. Like there's two ways to achieve 4K. You can use 4K diodes, or you can use 3000 and 5000K, and that will give you 4K. But it actually kind of has different levels of green, and it looks different on a spectrum graph. So if someone's using 4K, I can tell the difference of someone using 4K or if they're using 3000K or 5000K. Someone's got 3.2. We have lights that are 3.2. We have lights that are even above 3.2 when it comes to spectrum tuning. So I just know what it looks like. So as soon as I saw it, I said, there's something just not right about it. And also, like advertising 240 Osram diodes with using Samsung Evo diodes, if like for the price, it doesn't really add up. And I think that when someone does that, it's kind of devaluing people that really are using real Samsung Evo diodes and Osram diodes. Like we are just obviously discontinuing a lot of our fixtures that have them, but we still do have ones that have it. Um, so he basically said that it was just an accident and he forgot to update his website. So I'm just going to kind of show what we have and what was given to me. So this is was given to me by the person. Wait, can you see that?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so this was given to me and it's, it starts off in July 10th saying, are there any of your new lights in Canada or USA? I just had a light fail and need a new one as soon as possible. Yes, on July 11th, he's saying yes, they are. If you need any information, don't hesitate to ask. So now we're on July 11th. What brand diodes and how many are on the fixture? What brand driver do you use, etc.? Are there any discounts offered? And then you can see on July 11th, hi, we use Samsung and Osram. So they clearly are saying that. And then there are these going to be discontinued soon? I thought Samsung was done. You're correct. We will be moving to other manufacturers, the same as everyone else in the industry. If you check the YouTube, we went through some of the options, but there are plenty of great options out there. So, and he says, I can't see the quantity anywhere and so on. So then if you have any more queries, please get back to you on Monday. It's after hours. So then he said, hi, on July 11th still. How many far red diodes are there? It doesn't really say. Are they Osram far red diodes? How many Samsung EvoMint diodes are used? Obviously, he was confused about EvoMint and Evo. Gives a total, blah, blah, blah. You can see exactly what it says. And you can see that the message was seen. That's the one thing on Instagram, it does show
Yeah.
and if someone's read your message or not. And then, July 14th, nothing. July 15th, nothing. July 17th, nothing. So, and then the same person emailed them um, and didn't ever get a response. And,
Oh, this is them emailing my
yeah,
girl.
he says,
Yeah.
and what's pretty, he says, I've referred lots of people to you on Reddit, and I really hope this is some sort of misunderstanding. Looks highly shady that you guys decide not to answer me and then muted me on your page for asking a legitimate question. And basically, after that point, he got his girlfriend to just do like a regular email asking a basic question and got answered immediately. So that's just really the facts. And there's been a lot of people in comments saying a bunch of stuff, and I can't respond to it. Like I get my messages or my comments get deleted. So this has been going on for a while, where like people on his page would be like totally slandering me, and I'm not allowed to respond. But he leaves it up. So one of the biggest things, there was a fellow that's just like going around saying that I lied. There's definitely 5K diodes and blah blah blah. So like I actually showed a picture of the PCB, and you can really see how at the top it's 4K 6500, 3K 4K 6500, 4K 6500, and you can see there's three different colors of diodes right there: 6500, 4000K, and 3000K. And how we know without a doubt that it's not 5000K diodes is because we tested the 4000 and 6500K. Like you can totally see it when you test it. So we could, say that without any doubt at all.
Yeah, so like to catch people up on the story at that point, we were like, all right, well, we'll just order a light and just test it to see exactly what it tested out as, since we can get these answers. And so got a light.
Exactly. Yeah. And other people also were saying, well, how you tested an Evo Mint diode and you're testing for Evo diodes, yours was green. And that is a fair question. And the thing is Evo Mint diodes and regular Evo diodes all have the same 437 nanometer wavelength. It doesn't matter if it's a 3000 Kelvin diode or a 8000 or a 10,000 Kelvin diode. They both have it. So in the video, it clearly shows that all of him doesn't. And he right away admits that there were no Evo diodes.
Well,
So
that's the biggest thing too, is that once it was
mhm.
found at one testing lab, light laboratory, to be off from what he had stated, and then we sent it back to China to be tested again, where we could have our engineers actually test each diode, and then realize that not only were the Evo Mint whites not there, like it said on the website, there was no Osram diodes on there either.
Yeah, that was another thing. And you know what's funny is that I wasn't even expecting that, and none of us were. And it was only at the
Oh,
last second when I had already like been making the video and everything that I said, "Hey, put up a Osram diode. Let's just see." But also like in the picture I'm showing right now, because this one person was so he's been saying like really slanderous stuff about us on all different types of comments and stuff. And this it is almost 5K. If it was 4,000 and 6,000, it would be 5K, but it's just slightly above 5K. But it was a one-to-one ratio, and that's just a fact. So he did say that this is just an accident, and that he forgot to update his old previous model. The only problem with that is none of his lights have ever used Samsung LM301H Evo diodes. I actually found a video of him talking about when made a recording of when he was talking about his old light, and he specifically says that he's not even using LM301H diodes because it's too expensive. And to have something like this, you would have to this is a custom photo that says 3.2 with his light and has the Samsung Evo diodes that was placed on every single fixture. Not only that, through Google Ads. Like these ads, it didn't seem to matter where I was going on any website. Like it's weird how Google can target you like that because I could see Samsung LM301H Evo with he had an ad that showed it. So that's just really the fact that his old model definitely didn't have that. And in his video, he says that he forgot to upgrade. He forgot to upgrade the Spectrum because his new Spectrum is way nicer. And let me just show you. So the left was his old Spectrum, and the right is the new Spectrum. Now, this is a nice question that I really like everybody to use their own common sense. And this is something I've been arguing with people, regardless, nothing to do with Shane, but to do with multiple people about deep red spectrums. Does a spectrum more because it's more efficient make it better? And I say no.
oh, yeah,
Like I think a fuller spectrum is better. Like this looks like a greenhouse spectrum to me,
yeah.
almost like an under canopy spectrum. And so you can clearly see the difference about that. So I just wanted to kind of point that out. And then I also wanted to show you like on the left is their new spectrum, on the right is our greenhouse spectrum. So like if anybody could make and another thing about his saying 3.2, I believe it is 3.2 before it heats up, but after it heats up, like anybody, when you do a spear test, you could take it as soon as it turns on while the fixture is cold and you can get a higher number. After it heats up, it clearly says it's 3.1. So I don't believe that the fixture is 3.2, like maybe running cold, but I believe it's and like 3.1 is stupid efficient, but it's more like a greenhouse spectrum. Like almost all companies have a greenhouse spectrum that's stupidly efficient like this. Is this perfect indoor? And like what makes this a greenhouse spectrum and why do people do it and why is it appropriate for a greenhouse? Because when you're in a greenhouse, the
The
spectrum,
sun,
yeah, you
the
have the
sun
sun,
helping.
you have everything filling out in with it. And if you see when you have one of these type of lights in a greenhouse, even on a cloudy day, and you take and you read what the spectrum is, it completely fills out and it's totally appropriate. So like I don't think saying because a light or a spectrum is more efficient, it's better. Like I just completely disagree with that in every single aspect. This is like we have two greenhouse spectrums. This one or the one on the right. Like, so in if we were using that same theory, that more efficient is better. Well, this is a blurple spectrum. This is 3.7 micromoles per joule. And some people like having that because the rest fills out. I personally don't like the blurple colors. And a lot of our clients that are buying greenhouse lights don't like it either. So they like the regular spectrum on the right that has white light with the red. But if a more efficient spectrum is a better considered a better spectrum, then this would be better. So, like, do you think that this is better? Is a blurple spectrum better because it's more efficient, or is it more? Yeah, like
I think
it's
that's
just
pretty proven because that's kind of where the LEDs were started in the infancy, and you don't see a whole lot of blurple anymore for a reason.
yeah. So, um,
And I think the biggest thing on this um this whole controversy really is just the way everything was handled, and then the excuse
yeah.
at the end, like, oh, I didn't update my web page from the fixture before, which is another blatant lie because you didn't have the Evo diodes in that one either. You had to have uploaded those graphics from Samsung. And at least from the outside looking in, it looks like you've put all the highly sought after, or at least I think it's pretty hands down. You can do a lot of Google searches and find that the Mint Evo diode is recommended in many articles. So people that are new or even people that are seasoned are going to recognize that diode. And if you're looking for a light with those diodes, with Osram and Samsung Evo Mint diodes, and you buy that light and then find out later that it doesn't have either one of those and they don't even have the same brand name, it's a completely different brand. You know, if I go buy Nike Air Jordans and then it comes in the mail and it's some New Balance, I'm not going to be happy about that. I could understand people being a little upset. Now, are New Balance still a good shoe? Sure, but that's not what I ordered. So I can understand the outrage in that. But I did see a comment that somebody on his apology video said that they'd reached out to him and felt that way, and that they got an email back saying that he would, if he returned the light, that they would give him a refund. So at least he's trying to make it better. So that I got to give him respect for that.
Well, yeah, that I think that would be an honorable thing to do is refund people that are unhappy with it. Like
Yeah,
our
there's a lot of people that are fine with it too, because I saw a lot of comments were like, "Oh, that's good on you for admitting your faults and all this," and they seem pretty much okay with that. But
you know, he
there's
came
going to
over.
be plenty of people that aren't.
He came over and left a comment on our video too, and I've left it up. I don't suppress him from coming on my page. He has a voice in the comments on my page, but I don't on his. And like the history that goes back, there's someone that was like insanely slandering us to the point that we're suing him for real. And it's like he hasn't been served yet, but it's absolutely happening because like if someone's got thousands of followers and I know the real name and I know who they are, we're not going to tolerate a bunch of lies. So this person was like insanely slandering us, and they made multiple posts, and I could see that Migro followed him, and I could see that Migro even commented on some of his posts. Well, after all this crazy slanderous stuff was done, he sent him out a light and created a discount code for him. So I obviously wasn't very happy with that. And someone in the comments tried to say, "Oh, Migro's just a white label or whatever." And I actually defend any company, even if I don't like them. And I said no. Like as far as I can understand, that's Migro's design, and it's not a white label. You can't buy his light with another label on it, as far as I know. And like you know,
Right.
I've I've always kind of defended any company like that and try to be fair. I'm not trying to like blow extra smoke or anything. Like it's just straight up the facts. And I don't like when people say, "Oh, I'm attacking everybody." If I'm talking about another company, I'm talking facts. I don't make stuff up, and it's not a two-way street. Like there's another company in Massachusetts right now that is like very close to being sued because they're going and messaging people and telling them that our lights are white labeled and that we don't design our lights, and it's like I can prove this so easily that that's a lie.
Well, they can prove it to themselves. Buy one then. If you can,
Yeah, well, that's
if
anybody that says that we're a white label company or just sticking a label on it, that means you'd be able to buy our light somewhere else, like from a Chinese
yeah.
supplier or on another website with another label, and you can't. It's a lie, and it's easy to prove. And people, it's one thing people hiding behind a name online, but if you're a real person with a real job, And there are real consequences for this kind of stuff, and we're not going to tolerate it. So that's kind of the bottom line when it comes to that. And yeah, that's well, I don't, if there's any type of questions about it, I can try to answer it. Like I said, this isn't any way like a personal attack directly on Shane. Shane has done a lot of good stuff for like communities, for the community, like testing lights and teaching people lots of great information. I'm not trying to attack him that way. This is just, like I said, he's associating with somebody that's like totally slandering us, and then this happens to get thrown in my lap, and I decided to look into it, and all I did was put out the facts, and that's the bottom line.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, not only that it proves the facts when he puts up an apology video and says, yes, that's the truth. I wasn't using those diodes. Like the test, so it's not even up for debate on whether it was the case or wasn't the case of the fact of the matter is these lights went out to customers thinking they were getting one thing and they got something completely different, which is wild. It's wild that that's allowed to happen. And I'm sorry, I'm going to I'm going to push a little bit and I'd be like, I would be as a customer in that situation upset about it. And so I think people have the right to be upset about it, but at the same time, it doesn't take away from all his contributions, like you said, for lighting and things like that. Now, he's got opinions that are pushed by some people as like they were facts too. That I disagree with Shane on a lot of things, like far red and spectrum. I think matters. I don't say silly things like spectrum doesn't matter. But I think a lot of his other information seemed to be pretty accurate. So I don't think it's like just because he chose to do this or maybe unknowingly did this somehow. I don't know how that could be, but it doesn't change the fact that the good information he's put out there.
And here's one other thing that's actually something else that I just thought of when I saw but a comment right now. Our Tarantula Magma that holds the record on his channel for the most usable light is a legitimate real 3.21. Like we have it tested with Light Lab, we have it tested with our own spear. And like I said, I've seen Light Laboratory make some mistakes or there's a tolerance allowed, and I've seen the tolerance be way off before, but that definitely lined up. So we know it's a legitimate 3.2. If his light is legitimately 3.2, why didn't he do one of his own tests on his own lights, like his own light, and claim well, he'd be tied for the record. If it's 3.2, it's gonna literally be within 1% of ours, and either like just be, or it's gonna tie ours, or just be over, or just be under, depending on who has a better design for distribution. And that's a pretty good question. I'm surprised that he didn't. Like if it's legitimate 3.1, it should be just under our Magma, which would be the second most efficient light that he's ever tested. But anyways, it's just something
I
that.
never thought about that. That's a great question. Yeah, why wouldn't you test it to show that off, to show off that great efficiency?
And why is the Magma has a really red boosted spectrum, and that's the only light that we did that. And the reason why originally, because um when HLG took the title at 2.89 with their, I forget what light that they sent out. Was it maybe the bar light? I can't even remember, but it was like an insanely red boosted spectrum. So like when you have a regular spectrum, just can't, like when you add that 660 nanometer and you use a bunch of it and you drive those diodes hard, it's like even my Tarantula long leg with 4,488 diodes, or the Tarantula Vulcan Nitro with 5,400 diodes. It can't compete. Like the Magma has, I think, anywhere between, I want to say around 3,300 diodes. Well, the the Vulcan Nitro cost way more to make. It has way more diodes. It's 70% Evo diodes. Like to this day, the Vulcan Nitro is the Rolls-Royce of any 720 watt light that's ever been made, but it can't compete to the Magma in efficiency. But if you compare the two spectrums together, you'll see the Vulcan Nitro is this way big, fuller spectrum that, in my opinion, is going to grow way better stuff. Like if and not only am I against using greenhouse spectrums inside, I'm against using greenhouse lights inside because there's like so many companies that actually push them, and they say it's because they want the light more concentrated. Well, we make so many different par maps, and it's not a valid reason, I don't think, because you figure out what your hang or where your tables are and what your end plant height, and you can hang anything to any level you want. And I like the PCBs on a greenhouse light, they also run a lot warmer, which isn't going to make a difference in 5 years, but it's just overall like it's just nicer to for things to run cooler, and they're just going to last longer. Excuse me.
Well, that's the advantage of the more the more LEDs as well. Like if you have more physical LEDs, if you're running, 5,600 LEDs like the Borg, as opposed to 3,000 LEDs, but running the same power through those, the LED light that has the more LED diodes is spreading that power among, more diodes. They're going to last longer. They're going to be underdriven. They're not going to be ran as high as hot.
Yeah, and when you look at DLC, or you look at like a lab report from the Borg Evolution or Explorer, it's super misleading because they pin everything to 100% and turn it on and crank it. Well, like I said, adding 100 watts of far red, it absolutely kills your efficiency. Far red diodes are extremely inefficient, and it just hurts your score. But when you make real spectrums where you're only using a little bit of that, it actually it does spectrums extremely efficient. And in a lot of cases, it's more efficient than almost anything else out there when you have that many diodes. Um, yeah, anyways, it can be kind of misleading. Oh, so is there any other real
That's another
questions?
thing too, is like I like to push back. There's two things I want to talk about. One thing is like I see these comments about Grandmaster LEDs are the most expensive lights out there. It's like, yeah, a Borg Evil's expensive light for sure, but we also have all kinds of lights. We have lights that don't change spectrum, that I'd put up against fucking all the other lighting companies' versions of single spectrum lights, and it's still going to come in at a competitive price if you look at the components. So,
Well, yeah, that's another thing about value. So when you are um like if you break it down, like first of all, 3 year versus a 5 year warranty, like right there, if it's just there's so much more value in it. But yeah, if you break down just the diode count and what you're getting, if you're on a budget, we do have a light that's for people on a budget, and that's the Revolution 720. And it's just extremely great value. We can't compete with people that are selling it for 300 lights for $300 that are used like, we could make an extra cheap light with like real cheap components and everything like that, but almost like a safety risk, like a liability to us where I don't want to have a problem. I don't want to start a fire. And so we haven't gone down to be making like an ultra cheap light like some of the other ones out there.
well, that would also make us have to change our warranty, which we don't want to do. If you're going to
Oh,
use ultra cheap parts, we're not going to be able to offer a 5-year warranty on them.
I can't believe it, man. My gummies, I left them in my car in the
What'd you leave in your car?
my gummies. I bought some edibles and
Oh shit.
completely freaking melted, man.
Well, you're gonna have to eat one gummy then, that whole jar.
I just can't. Oh, man. I
Just
can't even get them out.
just reach in there and rip them out and then just eat whatever piece
Like
comes
I
out.
can't even just get it out. It's like,
We'll get them hot again so that they
damn
just
it,
pour out of
man.
there.
That's lame. They weren't even maybe in there for an hour, but I guess an hour when it's sunny in the summer. Oh,
Yeah, it can get hot as hell in my car.
And another thing like there's so many like Osram and Samsung have the most popular reputation. There are plenty of red diodes out there now that compete with them. They're just not as well known. That's the bottom line. Like, there's companies that are way bigger than LED Star. We're talking 50 times bigger, 10 times bigger, 20 times bigger that have great diodes that they're just not well known yet. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. second here. I wanted to actually just show everybody. Wanted to give an update on our.
I also wanted to interject and let people know when if you're interested in spectrum tuning, because I often see, yeah, I would love to try spectrum tuning, but it's just so expensive to get into it. Well, what are you using now? Because you can add booster bars of certain colors of just a spec, like a 450 nanometer blue. You can use that to add to your current flower light to play with spectrum tuning by adding more blue at the beginning to suppress stretch or at the end as a finishing uh, strategy. But you can, use LED technology to supplement what you have already going on. You don't have to replace what you got going on if don't have the budget to replace the whole thing. So you can look at well, we have them under the booster bar section on our webpage, but we got all different. You got blue, 660 nanometer red. We got far red. We have full spectrum bars, all kinds of different things.
So this is our seventh attempt. Well, this is our fifth attempt with this one company of making a heat sink for our UV bar. Like I thought we were going to have our final prototype this week or like on Thursday, I thought. But this is what the heat sink looks after it's been extruded from the mold. When you take it out,
Does not
like
look good, dude.
oh, it looks 10 times better than previous ones that came out like absolute shit. After this happened, this was the fifth time with this company. They said, we'll refund you your deposit. We just don't want to do this anymore. And we've talked them into making one more because we're so close. If it doesn't work, we're going to have to change the heat sink design. Like, for the
Ugh.
we were trying to make like to be able to do a 3-year warranty, we have to hit a whole bunch of different specs for us for when how cool it runs. And they're going to be running between the two bars, but I wanted to kind of give everybody an update. We did two different ones with a different company originally, and it just couldn't run cool enough. So we were back to the drawing board, and then we made a more complicated mold um, to help dissipate the heat. And like a lot, like we're not trying to stall it. A lot has gone into this, and while we're doing a bunch of other things at the same time, we've actually made a spectrum tuning greenhouse light. Like I haven't shown it yet, but it is done, and we'll be showing pictures and everything of it pretty soon. It's pretty crazy. It's actually like an Explorer, but except with the warm white is actually 90% red. So it's like stupid, just absolutely
Oh
stupid.
yeah, okay. So it still wouldn't be something viable to be used indoor, probably.
Oh, you could like you could do a lot you could, but it's not what I would call optimum. But the cool white channel is 18,000 Kelvin. So it basically can go from 90% red to 20% red, and then also has can go up to 45% blue. So it's capable like for a greenhouse light, it's ideal. But no, I really like the full spectrum. A fuller spectrum. Like I think when not just having 660, I think having 660 and then having the peak of 600 to 620, which is in our warm white channel, is ideal. Like
Yeah, I
that.
was just thinking in my head like that might have been a solution for somebody in a smaller space, like a greenhouse light with spectrum tuning. They could get spectrum tuning in like maybe a 2x4. But it's not what they're looking for indoor because you're still kind of you don't have the full spectrum in those. That's more for outdoor to be supplemented with sunlight.
And speaking, Stangman says, yeah, the GML ballasts are huge. They absolutely are. There actually is a V4 Borg evolution coming, but the only real difference is it's one driver, and it's gonna like we've been working on developing a driver with another company for a while now, and it's in the final testing stages. And why I like it so much is because it reduces the weight. It gives us one driver, but the driver goes from 200 volt to 480 volt, and this just makes things for like our when you look at our sales, like I would say 90% of them are commercial, like on the larger scale sales over smaller kind of smaller stuff like over 120 volts. So we it's really hard to stock both of them. So for the Explorer and the and the Borg Evolution, there's going to be two options. The V4 is going to have the one driver for both of them, and the but if you need 120 volt, it will be the bigger box, and we just can't get away from it. It also makes warranty just a lot easier. Like right now, when we have four drivers in one driver box and one fails, we have to send them out a new driver box, get the other one back, and refurbish it by replacing one of the drivers. And with the new driver, if there's an issue and it fails, it's like all we have to get the person to do is cut the wire, take a picture with it cut and the serial number, and then we can just send them out a new driver. We can get credit. It just makes everything a lot nicer. I also like the idea of having one driver having like a 15-foot extension, so you don't have to have that extra weight on your light. Like the Borgs are already heavy enough, so to be able to just eliminate that, give access on the wall to people, I
And it'd be
think
nice too to have a driver, yeah, driver extension only needing one of those. Like right now, the current version, you need two driver extensions to get that off of the light.
Mhm.
So that would probably only require one then, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just gonna run inside for a second, guys. I'm gonna see if I can find some different edibles. I just would like to take them now, so just give me a second. Um, Russ is gonna hold the floor.
Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I will talk about a little bit more about the spectrum tuning with on the cheaper side, and that's by grabbing the, I could probably, let me see if it'll allow me to screen share. It will. All right, let me pull up our website and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about to make it easy on everybody. I gotta move screens here. There we go. Now I'll share screen too. There. I'm gonna assume that you see this, but if you go from our website right here and just go to all products, and we have these, different ones to pick from, but booster bars. And this will give you some ideas of the different ones you can choose from. And it's got those spectrums right here for you to see. So like that one, is far red, 660 nanometers. So if you don't have far red in your fixture, you can get far red by just adding a booster bar. Or if you want to play with far red by just, like to do the flower initiation, whatever that's called, where you do the 5 to 15 minutes after your flower cycle, you run just the far reds to put the plants to sleep faster and shave time off your harvest window. So you could also run them during the whole flower cycle to take advantage of the Emerson effect. If you've already got 660, which you most likely do in your flower light, throw in some 730 nanometer as well and take advantage of that Emerson effect. Or if you need a little bit extra 660, boom, we got it. That'll help you with flowering. 2200K booster bar. That's going to give you a lot of flowering spec, but it doesn't have any of that far red. But it's more of a full spectrum. See, every time I mouse over, it makes the spectrum go away. But you see what I'm talking about. Barely any blue in that one. Or this one, now you add the blue in. It gets you the 8000K. It suppresses all that red. Another good, that gives you a lot of that middle where the greens and the yellows too. So a lot of options for a 15 nanometer. If I was going to buy one booster, if I was going to buy one booster bar to start playing with, and I'm an indoor cannabis gardener, I want to just go after this 450 nanometer booster bar because it's straight blue. I can take that blue and I can run that blue during my flower time. So at the beginning of flower, probably the first 3 weeks to suppress the stretch. And so I don't have to fight it. That's usually what I'm doing in my space. And then I would take that and just turn them off. And then once I got closer, start approaching harvesting, maybe 2 weeks in, maybe put them on at 50% for the 2 weeks before, and then the last week put them on at 100% as like a finishing bulb, like we used to do with the metal halides. We'd swap out the HPS and metal halides at the end. Same kind of concept, giving heavy blue at the end. It pushes cannabinoids. We've seen some white papers already saying that added blue in the flower phase, when you already have a full spectrum, pushes higher cannabinoids. So that's an
Um,
easy way to play with it.
and speaking of spectrum tuning, because I know a lot of people try to say spectrum tuning, it's not real. It doesn't give you any edge. Jeremy from Build a Soil, if you go to his Instagram page, not his most recent, his second most recent post, he's got two GMO plants. Well, he's vegging one under 9,000 K, and he was making these like the exact same parameters for this test. with everything. Same light intensity. The only thing that's different is the actual light spectrum. And you can clearly see when he stretches them down, there's a big gap in the internode spacing. And so he ties them all down and just go look at the video. Like if anybody has any type of doesn't think spectrum tuning works or real, just go look at that. And that is just straight up proof right there. You can see when he stretches it down that it's all empty in the middle because it's all stretched out and it doesn't have the same type of stacking.
Yeah,
And
that's a great video. If you guys aren't following Build a Soil on YouTube, you need to. Or he's on Instagram as well, sharing stuff on there. But he's doing a good a tent side by side, literally side by side. One with the straight blue, one with the it's almost like classic HPS, but I think it's just warm white. Isn't that what he's running in it? One's cool white and one's warm white.
well, no, one of them is just like a standard bloom spectrum that's got the extra green added in.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like a company basically copied another company and copied this, like adding green diodes. And I see someone asking like about the green light. Well, like I said, we've tested that and we saw like tested a light that has green diodes added to it. And all they did was add 4% green and they went from 40% to 44%. And I can tell you right now, there is no scientific data saying that 44% is better than 40. There's none. It's a complete scam. That's just a bottom line. It's just that's real hype and it's a real scam. Like, especially if you're trying to advertise, like, how much green does the sun have? Well, it's got in the low, it depends on where you are and what time of the day, but it's in the low 30s. So, yeah, I think it's like, and another thing that was crazy by adding 4% green, they lost 21% efficacy. So you lose 21% light per watt to add 4% green when there's nothing backing that. Plus, I know people that,
What's the claim that the green light brings? Like the only thing that I'd heard is light penetration deeper into the canopy, but that to me tells me that's just light that the plant's not absorbing. That's why it's getting through. And penetration has been solved by under canopy. So that penetration should never be an issue now that you have access if you have access to under canopy lighting, you can just do it more efficiently than trying to blast that light through the canopy. Just put it under the canopy and blast it up.
well, I do think that green is essential, but like the
Oh,
second,
yeah, but it's in most all full spectrum lights
it
already.
yeah, it is. And like the second, that's what, like when people are saying backed by science, notice how they don't have the percentage. They're not sharing what percentage is backed by science. What percentage did they actually do this test? And you'll see that you'll be able to find nothing backing it up. I'm open to it if I saw any type of evidence or, and not only that, I know people that were used that newer green spectrum against the older spectrum they had, and they had better results with the older spectrum. Obviously, you're gonna have better results too when you got an extra 21% more light per watt. But anyways, that's someone asked me about it, so I'm just kind of giving my opinion. Like green diodes are cheap, like anybody could add them very easily. It's not proprietary. A lot of people try to say spectrums are proprietary. The only thing that can be proprietary is if you have some sort of exclusivity to a diode that nobody else can have or no one else can get. And it still might doesn't mean that someone can't make a similar spectrum with a different way. So like there's all different ways to make the same spectrum, and there are no proprietary spectrums. So if someone is saying that they've got some special spectrum that nobody else can do, or it's not true. It's just a fact. So that's kind of my answer to that.
Yeah, and I've seen comments, Super Ness has made one here, but I've seen other people a lot make a comment similar to this, waiting on a single source, full spectrum light like the sun. And my always comment back to that is like you got to think about what we're doing. We're taking a plant and we're trying to maximize its growth as best we can, or maximize its growth for specifically the trichomes and the compounds within is what we're after. We're not maximizing the plant's, ability to breed, ability, all these other things that the plant's trying to do. So are we really doing what nature wants? No, we're taking it out of nature. Putting it in pots. We're growing it under an artificial light, and but if you quiz 100 people, I would say 100 people that have both grown indoors and outdoor extensively. Like it's not I've grown indoor all my life and through one plant outdoor one time. Not that. Like I've grown a lot of plants outdoor and a lot of plants indoor. Out of those 100 people, you might get 10 of them to tell you that you're going to have better quality outdoor. I know that's kind of controversial because a lot of people are going to say, especially organic, uh, is going to say that you have better outdoor. But I mean, I've seen different expressions outdoor for sure. And I've had good results outdoor, but you're also in a less clean environment. Your buds are filthy. Um, that's going to be evidence if you do a bud wash at the end. If you're not doing a bud wash at the end, just bud wash one branch, and you'll probably be convinced of what's floating in the water to bud wash the rest of your plants. Um, it's just, I think, pretty undeniable that what we're doing by and why we're still have commercial scale indoor cannabis is because you can get cleaner, better results normally indoor. And so don't get so like I don't know what it is, almost religious about it. It's got to be exactly like nature because if you put a plant outside and never touch it, it's probably not going to do as good as if a plant outdoor with you helping it along and being a good gardener and giving it a better environment than what nature provides by maybe taking a tall grass down around it and, countless other tasks. So, yeah, so don't think something's good or bad only because you can find it in nature or not. That's my soapbox moment there.
Yeah, I think that's well said. And like another thing, like so the sun has 25 to 30% blue. Now, a lot of cultivars are going to do well with that, but it's the same thing indoor. If you have a light that's got 25 to 30% blue, you can have a lot of negative results with structure. The beautiful thing about spectrum tuning is the blue is great, but it's at certain times that you want to make it peak. And obviously, in the earlier stages for vegetation, it's great. And same with early flower to limit the height as much as possible, and later in flower. And yeah, and like the best crop that I've ever grown indoor, like I've never seen anything outdoor that's as nice personally. And this is just a personal opinion. Outdoor doesn't really work very well where we are if we try to grow the same cultivars because they just don't finish in time. So yeah, I really think that you just have to be able to do the best. Well, it's all like Rest says is like do what's ever best for you and what's giving you the best results. But to just say this one thing that the sun is the best spectrum in all cases, it's like it might be great and great. You might get great results. A lot of people haven't also grown indoor with the same levels of UV that the sun has and trying to balance it the same way. So, like I think that you just have so much more room for manipulation and doing other things where you can just take it to another level. Um, well, we're getting close.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I like both. I like the ability to grow both outdoors and indoors. But I do enjoy the indoor more, to be honest. The final product usually. But the outdoor is just hard to not love because it's the pure quantity out of the less effort up until harvest time. Then the effort gets crazy. Or cleaning out like, you know, de-leafing those big monsters. Sometimes you can be out there for hours on one plant.
And the Tarantula Sun UV, which is going to be coming, will you'll be able to match the same levels as the sun, the same level of UVA, the same level as UVB, but you'll also be able to even take the UVB higher if you want. All right, guys, let's give away a light. Hold on a second here. Oh, wait a second, I got the wrong thing here. There we go. Um, okay. So we'll just let it, you got to, as long as you type something within the next 15 minutes, you will be entered in the test. Second here. Um, okay.
There we go. What is this giveaway for? Did you say?
We're gonna give away a Torch 850
Torch 850.
or like a Tarantula Torch HPS, and they're getting pretty low in Canada here,
They're
and
getting pretty
say,
low up here too.
yeah, we'll be like the Torch series is going to be discontinued pretty soon. Um, like I said, Samsung has exited the market. We're not, like I said, I'm happy about it. Actually, sorry, the Torch 850 or the Tarantula Torch 850 uses all LED stars, so it will not be just like you'll still be able to get it. It's the rest of the Torch series that will be discontinued. Um, okay, so uh, okay, well, there's 141. So I'm surprised we got 224 people here live. It's been a long time since we've done this. I've almost got the grow ready to go here. I have like a couple final things, but the thing is just done out. I'm so pumped about it. One of the last things I still haven't gotten are those motorized airtight dampers.
Man, you've been trying to find one of those that were acceptable to you forever.
I think I have finally found one that like people use for like fire control and stuff. Like that people so like stuff basically that people use in labs too that's truly airtight. And the problem is if without it being airtight, the air just comes in and was filling my ducting. It gets so cold versus the hot, like it was just the
Condensation.
condensation. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone mentioned in chat they were looking for one of our hats.
So I want to kind of update everybody with like I can say 100% by November we'll have everything in stock. Like I even have samples of shoes coming, guys, and they're like steel-toed runners. They're sick, and we also have
Oh,
like steel-toed
sweet.
boots. So, but definitely by November, all the merch will be available. I'm sorry it hasn't been sooner. It's like the lead time was way longer than I've expected, but we put in a massive order. It could be sooner than November, but I'm just saying definitely by November we'll be fully up and running with shirts,
The real
hats,
question is there going to be the elusive GML sweatshirt that have been asked for since the beginning of time, I think.
100%.
Okay. All right, sweet.
That's
I get
already
asked a
done.
lot
I've
about
already
that.
seen the sample, everything. That's all good. It's just we're getting everything at the same time. So not only will you'll have hats. We have three different shirts, a white one, a black one, and then like a camo one. And then for pants, we've got pants with zipper pockets. And then just our hats. And like if these shoes are as nice as they look, we're gonna have shoes too. And they don't have laces. They all have those boa where you just are able to tighten it. It's like almost like a binder from skis. I have a pair like that right now, and I absolutely love them. I
Sweet.
just hate laces hanging down or whatever. You know
Me
what I mean?
too. Yeah. And
Yeah, just
yeah.
to avoid that. And they also have like a Teflon plate underneath, so you can't step on a nail or anything like that.
Oh, dope.
But they look like regular runners. I'm kind of excited about that.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Um,
Galaxy Solutions, I believe it was asking a question in chat about any plans on a 3x3 light.
well, we have the Tarantula Torch, or sorry, we have the Revolution 480, which is going to be converted to the Tarantula Tent Ultimate 3x3, and we're going to change the Revolution 320 to the Tarantula Tent Ultimate 2x4.
Oh, that's dope.
And we'll probably make a Tarantula Tent Ultimate 2x2 also. I'm not sure yet, but I'm assuming we will. So it's not going
Okay,
to have
so
the
we
same format because like the actual Tarantula tent lights actually cost a lot for us to build. So we're going to keep it the same as the Revolution, but just change the diode configuration. So, let's just rate the Tarantula tent series let's just call it a 10 out of 10 for uniformity. These
yeah.
might be like a 9 out of 10 just because like the frame, like people don't realize, but the tarantula tent, the bars click down and they don't have the end frame blocking any type of light or anything. So like, anyways, it still should be, not still should, it will be better than any other option out there. It will give the world's best uniformity, just like our tent series do.
Beto Herman is wanting to know when is the micro kit coming out, the microgreen kit.
Mm. I like we've already have them. We already have hundreds of them made. It's just we've been so busy dealing with stuff like every single day. We just haven't finished the manual.
Okay.
So It's going to be coming soon. Yeah, we were a little disappointed. We put in an offer on a place that was, almost 40,000 square feet, and we asked the asking price, and we didn't make it subject to financing on everything, and they didn't accept our offer. It was like really,
That was annoying.
yeah, it's like so brutal. Like, not to say that we might still get it. We'll see if that like the I think the realtor was trying to create like a bidding war because they knew we really liked it.
Yeah.
But either way, we're going to be getting like a very large
Bro, if we
building.
had that place, though, that place is fucking huge.
It just makes things so much easier for us. So it's something
To
that we're,
drive my car around to get around inside that place.
yeah. Instead of a picture, it's bigger than an acre, a building bigger than an acre.
Yeah, it's huge.
And there's another place we're looking at that's it's almost too big. It's like over 50,000 square feet, but we're going to have a peak. The only thing I don't like about the like when we go that big is they base the property tax on part of the equation is the size of the building, not the value of the building. It's weird how, or maybe it's too, I don't know exactly how it works, but I definitely know the square footage plays a role, which is really weird because we just go by the value of everything for property tax here in British Columbia. We don't go by square footage, doesn't come into the equation.
The um the interesting thing is there's a petition going around in Michigan. We're one of a handful of states where the citizens can make petitions, and if you get enough signatures, you can get a law put on up to vote. And so when we go vote for like president and shit like that, we can vote on these amendments to it. And that's how we got cannabis legal in Michigan, medicinally first. But there's one going around now to eliminate the property tax, and I'm super hoping that goes through because that'd be awesome
In Michigan?
in Michigan.
Dude, that would be so incredible.
That's what I'm saying.
That would
Yeah.
be that'd be incredible, man.
Because then you can actually own your like the house that I live in, this house I paid for, it's paid off, but I still pay thousands of dollars to the government every year. Otherwise, they take this thing from me.
Yeah, you don't really own it, I guess, you know? It's
Exactly.
well, it's the same thing here. It's like, yeah, if you didn't pay it, they'll just put a lien on your place and then eventually foreclose you, which is
Yeah. Yep. And then they auction off your property.
which is crazy.
Property auctions.
Yeah, that's wild. Wait, I'm gonna quickly okay, you guys see that? So these
Those
are
look sweet, dude. I like
so
those.
these are the boots. They're leather boots, they're waterproof, and they also have you don't have actual laces, you can just tighten it up. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, I love that.
I love them. So
We got a question in chat. It says, "Hey, I'm still waiting for a reply from the support team, but I noticed between the Borg Evo V2 and V3 have different diodes and different SPD. What's SPD? I don't know what that even means. Specifically, the double spike in blue. Oh, love
yeah,
the way.
that's because we don't use we don't use Evo diodes in the new one, and yeah, it definitely is different because it goes to 18,000 Kelvin now. We're not able to do that with a double spike. We would
So
have to use it. It would be possible to do, but we'd have to use a bunch of blue diodes,
two
and
different types of blue diodes.
yeah,
Yeah.
the blue diodes degrade. No, I meant like white plus blue, and the
Oh,
blue diodes degrade a crap load. And like I didn't notice. I always thought that, because they're pretty efficient. I always thought blue and red are very equal, but they're not equal in the life. And we've talked with other manufacturers that have even told us the specs. I'm not even going to name the companies, but like they're saying that they think that a lot of specs that they say with the life are manipulated because they know that they just don't last as long. So that's why we're not using any blue diodes with it. And like I said, going back to, we've seen a whole bunch of side-by-side tests where you have 437 with 450 versus 450, and then 437 versus 450. And you cannot, and with lab work, you cannot see a thing. So I know that there was this big hype about 437 nanometer, and we did it to keep up with the times. But I've seen zero evidence, and nobody can present any real evidence that there's a gain to doing it because it would be out there if there was, and that's why we're not using it anymore. Like the only ones that we're going to continue to have that double spike is going to be the Tarantula Tent series, and we're just using, LED Star has white diodes that are 437 nanometer. They're pretty expensive, but yeah, we've continued to use it for the tent series. Um, so I guess we've got 179 people here,
Nice.
231 watching. Yeah, I'm surprised our numbers are, man, they're
Well, there's a
high.
bit controversy. I'm sure that's brought hell. I bet Shane's watching. Maybe Shane was watching for a little while.
Yeah, so the version 1 Borg, that was the most expensive light ever. It's got more Samsung Evo diodes than any other light in the world, as far as I know. Yeah, and even though it cost way more, I'm saying that I personally think the V3 is way better because it just gives you more diversity. As soon as we
Wider
have
range, yeah.
as soon as we have the V4 that has the new driver, it's not changing. Like when we go to the V4, the diodes aren't changing at all. It's just the driver for people that want to run it on, 208, 240, 277, 347, or 480 volt. As soon as that comes out, I'll be swapping my boards out for it. Because why wouldn't I want double the spectrum possibilities to be able to push the blue way further? It's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, okay. So, who's ready?
Shout out to Zabi Martin from Spain, watching from Spain.
Okay. Uh,
Barcelona's beautiful. I'm sure the rest of Spain is too.
oh, I can't wait to go back there next year, man. Get one
Yeah.
of those falafels.
Oh yeah.
Falafels were the shit. Oh man. Yeah, I have not had a falafel like that since then. It's they have a falafel like there's this place I've been eating a lot lately, and I've been eating their burger because it's so good, but they have a falafel and it just sucks. Like the tzatziki sucks. It's
Oh, that's not good.
like tzatziki, there's two different types of tzatziki. There's the one that's like a real strong garlic that's got real flavor, and then there's like
Good stuff.
the dill style where it's not garlicky at all and they put a shitload of dill in it. And
That's okay, but I'd rather
yeah,
have the
it's okay. It's
garlic.
okay, but yeah, the garlic gives it flavor. And another thing is I love cucumbers I think cucumbers really go with tzatziki. I know it's in
Yep.
tzatziki, but also like in a falafel, and they don't have cucumbers.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
wild.
Um, okay, who needs us the most? And someone said,
Corbett wants to know when you got a Spectrum tuning tent coming out, tent Ultimate coming out.
I was thinking about doing that one day, and it's if you want spectrum tuning in a tent, you can go with the Explorer or the Borg Evo. Our Voyager is soon going to be discontinued, guys. It's just too close to the Explorer,
Yeah,
and I wanted to make a tent ultimate spectrum tuning. The problem is it would just be too expensive. It's going to almost double the cost of the fixture, and nobody's like that's going to make it more expensive than a Borg Evolution. And I get it. Like people really want that uniformity. I just it's not something that I don't see it. Like I know we were talking about it, but we have we have some other stuff that's we have besides our UV, we have one other fixture coming. And besides that, I think that's going to complete our foundation.
and do you want to talk about the meter? Are we gonna get a meter soon?
Yes, yeah, we're definitely going to have a meter where you can read the par and it will show the spectrum,
Ooh, this shows the spectrum too, including far red.
everything.
Sweet.
Not only that, it will show you the percentage of far red, red, green, blue.
I was gonna show that red, green, blue percent. That's really
Mhm.
cool.
We were looking at one that actually has a piece that detaches, so you can just place it there and then do
Yeah.
it. There was a bit of communication issues and stuff, so we didn't end up like I don't think, well, we're not going to go with that one. And we just tested one that came out really nice, so now we're just like like obviously we didn't develop it ourselves, it's another company, but we're going to have all our information on it and stuff. So they have to do some sort of coding, and we're going to get a sample with one done with the coding. And I just, once I approve that, we'll have them. Uh,
So to have the spectrum and the PPF and the RGB percentage all in one device, that's pretty sweet. I like that a lot.
and they're probably going to go from around 400 to 450. I'm not 100% what our final
Okay.
cost is going to be, but it's definitely cheaper than an Apogee meter, and you'll be able to do a lot more.
So wait for the Black Friday sale on that one, everybody.
Yeah. Well, just, you know what? It's so frustrating for us. Like there was a person, and he's a really good guy. I just mean frustrating that sometimes people have really bad readers or something, and it's like reading. Here we're trying to give them technical support, and it's nothing. It's just a complete issue with their meter that I've never heard of that's giving them totally false readings, and they're not thinking like they're, um, and I know I've been saying the application's been coming for a really long time. I can promise I just got an update yesterday. We're close, and I apologize it's taken this long. We just really had like the Borg V3 really delayed things too with it because we wanted to make sure we wanted to be compatible with that. I wanted to be compatible with the Explorer to have all the spectrums and stuff, and I also wanted to make it because we have multiple versions now. Our current one, you can only save 20 custom preset spectrums.
Well,
And
that's the hard part is people don't understand is like when they get a light and they get our controller and they're like, why is this difficult? And it's like, because this controller controls all our lights. It doesn't control just that light. It's made to control everything.
yes, and like the thing is that since there's three different versions, there's the V1 Borg that works with the Borg Evolution. Then the V2 had a slightly extra wattage, so it actually changes things a little bit. And then we have the V3 that has like a higher amount of blue. So all three are technically different. Well, the new one will be able to save 60 custom presets, like with the application.
Dope.
It doesn't matter what.
Why would you need 60 custom
Well,
presets?
I know, but I'm just saying if you want it, you'll be able to manually program them in and save them all so you have them if you want. I don't even use custom presets to be quite honest. Like for me,
I did to do the Transcend recipe, but then after that, I just like to do it myself in the timer. Yeah, just to custom it without the presets. I like
yeah,
that.
just because I just how I think about it, you're going as super warm as you want, or you're going as cool. You know what ratio of far red you want. And then it's another matter of how much deep red. And like, so another thing I'll just quickly bring up, these deep red spectrums actually work really well. And they will grow stuff. The problem is when you get too much deep red, you can just increase the bleaching so much easier.
Oh
And that's
yeah.
why having the full balance. Like if these deep spectrums were better, like, well, everybody would just have a light that's over 3 micromoles per joule, deep red. And I don't, in
Yep.
2025, quality has to come first before efficiency. So you can't rank a spectrum being better because it's more efficient. It's just totally inappropriate, and it lacks basic common sense is the bottom line. Like you want a full spectrum. Uh,
Absolutely.
okay, guys, we got
Oh, I got a
209.
pro tip for you. Okay, pro tip for your falafels. Shout out Genetic Memory Farms. He said you're confusing, I guess you say toum, 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 for tzatziki. Toum is garlic sauce. Tzatziki is dill and cucumber. I didn't know that.
No, no. Well, I owned a place that where we had our own donaires years ago, and we also had falafels, and we would make. I got the recipe from them, like gyro, like they called them gyros, but we call them donaires, and it was just like he called it tzatziki anyway. So I'm not saying that's not correct, but um, he called it like multiple people have like a garlic style tzatziki. Maybe you're. Thank you for correcting us. Maybe we're not saying it correct, or maybe they don't even know correctly. Okay, three, two, one.
Here it is.
Ray
Following
Vermontes.
status unknown. Ray Barromontes.
I hope you're in USA or Canada. I forgot to say this is for USA or Canada. Um,
He said really could use a new grow light before he won too, so that's pretty cool. Come on,
so
Ray, you got to say something in chat. Say where you're from. Are you in the United States? Are you in Canada? Hopefully one of the two.
You there, Ray? You got to log back into your other account.
He's run
I'm just
he's
joking.
running to his phone now. He's watering the plant, in 3 rooms deep. He's
You need to claim it,
tripping over
Ray.
tripping over the hose.
Oh shit, he's
Sweet, he's in
California.
Cali.
Okay, guys. Um,
All right, Ray, I need you to take a screen grab of your YouTube homepage so we can see it's your account and email me russ@gmlarmy.com. I need your shipping information.
okay. Um, Hold on a second here. Trying to find.
I also need to know if you need a 120 volt cord, which is the standard cord, or a 220 or 240 volt cord, I mean, because I could get you either one.
And if anybody wants to come up in Zoom and ask a quick question, now is the time. We can quickly take a couple of quick questions, but we're probably going to shut her down here real quick. Um,
Shut her down.
oh, man, my finger.
How are those things? Are they healing up at all?
Mm. Well, I can tell you I feel like a shitload better today, but yesterday and the day before and afterwards, it sucked. Like you don't realize how much you need your hand or your fingers, like just from trying to reach, it was stretching and pulling on the stitches. And like when I tried, like my bandage all got dried up on my stitches after the first day, so I couldn't like to take it
Oh
off.
shit.
I ended up having to soak it in water and just slowly
Oh,
take pieces off at a time. And it was like, oh, it took me a long time to get it off. And
bro, it seems like you always like you got like the easy route, and you got the hard route, and then you're like, no, I'm just gonna make my own. I don't want hard, I want extra hard. I want... Oh man. How's the your gardening doing outside?
It's doing well. Like we have these plums that are they're
I know
so
those fruit trees are coming in.
yeah, like the plums that we have, they're supposed to be like a big, large yellow plum, and they were in the first year, and then this other purple plum tree, I swear it's pollinating it. So they're
Oh, cool. So it's like a
coming out
mix.
purple and yellow, and they're anybody that tastes them, I swear they're like this is the best plum I've ever had. They're just like so sweet. And we got these gala apples that I couldn't believe it. I'm like a few weeks ago I'm like they seem small and they just in the 2 weeks they've gotten so big. They're gigantic. Like it makes me like I want to plant more gala apples for the future. Like because and like I want to plant peaches, plums, and like apricots and different types of plum crosses. Like I have about 40 more trees that are open with the spot where I already planted 1 yard of compost and I put the irrigation to. I just haven't got around to it. Like this year we the cherries were so good and they came in at 3 different times, but we had a bunch of varieties where they were still small where we only were getting like 30 or 40 cherries, but they're like growing up. Next year is going to be so insane for cherries. Like my plan is eventually to like when we build a home we're gonna have like a huge cold room where, we can store the apples. We got tons of pears too. We have 2 different types of pear trees, and then we got these what are they called again? Asian pears? I'm just trying to think of what they're called. It's like a they're like a it's like a pear apple kind of thing. Like pear apple kind of crosses, and we
There's a cross between a pear and an apple. I didn't even know
I think it's called
about
a
that.
I think it's called a pear apple tree or Asian pear. I can't remember, but we have like one tree that has over 200 of them on this year and another one that's got about 70 and we have like 2 pear trees. But my plan is to like can everything, like so we like
Like chop them and can them.
yeah, well like to store the apples and stuff like that. Apples last for months, so we want to just have
Yeah.
crap loads of apples, not have to ever really buy apples, always get organic, and then
What
obviously
about a
can
freeze dryer? You can slice
yeah.
them, freeze dry
Oh,
'em, and
that
it
too,
lasts
but also
forever.
having like what do you call it? Cherries can, pears can, like canned pears are so good.
I like canned pears too.
Yeah. Yeah, they're saying Asian pear.
Yep, Asian pears.
We didn't send out the Zoom link, but if anybody wants to come quickly in, here's the
I think
Zoom link.
the pears around these parts are like the Bartlett pear or something like that.
Or what is it, Barbet or something?
Bartlett,
Or
Bartlet or something, or Barlet maybe. I don't know.
I know
Some,
which ones you're talking about. I swear, some of the best pears I've ever had in my life are that variety.
oh yeah.
Like I remember just having ones that were so good. They like even last year we had some pears like that were so good also.
There's a lot of apples around Michigan. There's a lot of apple orchards.
Um,
Yeah, apples in the Traverse City area. There's a lot of cherries.
I love cherries, man. It was so like this was the best that we've ever had for cherries. Oh, Marcel wants to come up and ask a question here. So just remember, Marcel, let's be super respectful. We're talking about anybody.
Shout out to Charlene. I see her in chat.
Yes.
I'm muted. Hey, how is everyone doing?
How are
What's
you
up,
doing,
Marcel?
Marcel?
Good, good. I'm doing good. I was just gonna ask how much the you were planning to sell the light meters for.
We don't have a final number, but probably between 400 to 450.
That seems pretty good. Pretty good.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I'm pumped about it, man. Just because, like I said, I've referred hundreds of people to Apogee,
Yeah.
and it's nice to just have our own. Yeah.
And to be able to have, I really like the ability to have the spectrum, the percentages of the colors, all that stuff right there on the same device, just from walking in there. And then I can go back to controller, make a small adjustment, and then grab that device, go back in there and see how it's changed. I think that's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's actually an awesome idea that I didn't even think about. So that's why another reason why people can just go by percentage and don't have to go by the spectrums and be like, no, I want to take it to 25% blue. So yeah, that's I'm surprised. I haven't thought of that. That's an awesome idea.
Yeah, you surprised me with that. I didn't even think of it either until you just said it on the show. And I was like, that's awesome to have that right in front of you.
Yeah, I've never had the luxury of using a light meter before. So it seems like a great tool to have.
Well, that the application I can't say it works on iPhone as well, but it's called what is it called? Light or P no, it's called PPFD light meter
Yeah.
or PPFD meter, grow light meter. That one surprisingly, like if you click on it and then you'll have an option of information, sensor, lux meter, PPFD, and DLI and Parmax. Well, if you click on the PPFD, and then it comes stock with Sunlight 6500K. I can say for like a full spectrum light, this is the most accurate, and it's like it's usually within 100 ppfd. So it actually like someone had a really bad meter that wasn't working the other day, and I'm like, he's like, it's on 10% and it's reading 300 ppfd and it's 3 feet away, and I'm just like, he's like the dimmer's not working, and I got him to download this app and it solved our problem right away. So it's a damn good deference or reference if you don't have it. Hey, Newts to Roots, I like the idea. Make canned applesauce. That's awesome. I wonder how long it would last.
That'd take care of a lot of apples, that's for sure.
Well, I've always wanted to also make like we grow tomatoes every year and corn, but I was thinking like how nice would it be like grow like a whole crap load of corn so you can freeze a bunch and yeah, and also tomatoes like so you can have like tomato paste or not paste like
Dude, shout out to Emily, Anything Grows. Today, she went out and harvested, speaking of tomatoes, fuck, I don't know how many tomatoes we had out there. Put them in the big pan. She skinned them, cored them, boiled them all down, made bunch of jars of tomato sauce, saved all the skins and is dehydrating them in the oven to uh, grind them up and make into some kind of t tomato paste. No, she's using the other course for the paste. I don't know what the hell she's using those, or salt, I think she said, a tomato salt or something. But using all the different pieces, and it's so satisfying to see all the canned jars on the shelf. Oh, we had that for
yeah,
dinner today. We used some of that
I know.
sauce.
Yeah, that's awesome. To be able to have that and then also to be able to like this is our first year we were really growing onions to be quite honest. We just have all these massive onions and
Yep, we did
peppers
onions this year
and
too.
garlic. But to make your own salsa too,
Oh
like
yeah.
that'd be
Oh
sick.
dude.
Just making your own salsa. It's like fresh salsa from all that. We have 13. I want to say it's almost four or no, it's 13 26-foot beds that I built where it's full of compost. I've never used them yet. Like I ran irrigation. It's across the street, so it's like we have all this extra space. Um, I like wanted to do that.
Yeah, if you get a
Definitely.
pressure cooker and pressure can, that shit will last fucking years, dude.
Yeah, well that's the plan. Like my mom, she now lives over here, and my father-in-law, so it's like they live 10 minutes with us, or away from us, I mean, and it's just that's our goal long term is to be like, well, we're we're growing eggplants. It's crazy how big we only have like what, two eggplants, and they're like producing insane. Oh, Chip, did you put your hand up?
Saw Chris, somebody did, but it dropped to their hand. Maybe they were just seeing what the button did.
Okay.
Here he
There you
is, Chris Mann.
go. Okay, let's promote to panelists.
That's interesting. Melinda Akers says we got a maiden pair in the woods. The deer don't eat them till it frosts. I know on a lot of the vegetables after a frost, a lot of the starches turn to sugars, so that I wonder if the same thing happens with a pear.
I have a quick question when you get a moment.
What's
Sure.
up,
Hey,
Chris? Go
Chris,
ahead.
Hey, good to see. This is Stang Man. I don't know
Oh,
why.
Stang Man, what's up, man?
it's
Stang
going
Man.
down.
Good to see you guys. I'm real excited about the light meter.
Me
Cool.
too, man.
A question. I have the Tarantula Torch 850, the HPS metal halide light.
Yep.
Is there any threads I can check out or see what other people are running the two channels at, and if they're, I know, beefing up the red and flour? Do you have any forums, I guess is my question, where I can go in? Because I'm trying to look for information on the light just by Google, but it doesn't bring up much.
Discord would be where people would be where other people are using it, and I'm sure there's people that are sharing information and showing results. But I can tell you from what I would recommend because it does spectrum tune, but it's very minimal because the cool white channel is only 100 watts.
Mm-hmm.
So basically in veg, I would always have that at 100%, and then
Okay.
just have your warm white channel to whatever desired PPFD you want. So like, and the less of the warm white, the more percentage of blue it's going to be. And then same thing for when you go into flour until the stretch is done. I would I would also have the blue on 100%. As soon as the stretch was done, I would turn it. You actually have the option to leave it the whole way if you want, but I like what I would do personally is turn it off and then for the last 3 weeks just crank it right up to 100%. Now, obviously, if you had like an Explorer, you'd be
Yeah.
increasing a lot more, but because it can't obviously do the same thing because it's 850 watts, or you only have 100 watts versus 720 watts of cool white.
Right, right. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I like what Russ was saying, adding that in at the end, adding the a little bit more of that blue and that white in at the end for the flower to increase trichome and terpene profiles and what have you, because the plant just thinks, hey, boom, it's toward the end of my cycle, but hey, I better do something because I'm feeling these different spectrums on it.
Yeah, that absolutely. Well, that's
Okay,
I think that in Discord is where you'll
I'll
the best place to be
I'll
able to
join
talk.
right now. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your show.
Oh,
No problem,
awesome,
man.
man. Thanks.
I
Yeah,
dropped the Discord link in the YouTube chat too for
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, Russ. I see that. Appreciate it. You guys
Yeah,
have a good
no
night.
problem. You too,
thanks.
man.
You too. Bradston asked a good question. Is there a reason why the Borg Evo 3 doesn't have an SPD chart that has all the dials set to 100? The closest had cool white at 70%, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's because well, first thing is, we really rushed the V3, but that has nothing to do with it. We wanted to make all the same spectrums that were in the current model. So like, so yeah, you can do all the same spectrums that were in the original model with it. So, and like there might be, like, you know what? I think we made a couple changes because like we've discontinued some of those other lights because at the bottom, like we have a bunch of lights like our Master 6 Bloom Red, even though it's a great spectrum. I think we might have discontinued some, but yeah, that was basically the reason why there wasn't just one that has it all pinned up to 100%. Not that, like, I guess someone could pin it all up to 100% and then dial it back, but I don't think it would be very desirable to do that. First of all, to have that 200 watts of 660 is pretty crazy, and 100 watts of far red is a lot of far red.
Yeah.
It's not saying that there isn't a place for that because what it'd be really exciting with seeing people play with autoflowers and seeing them crank up the far red and getting, taking levels up to like 30% and seeing how much they can get the plant to stretch. And then do
Or
it.
there's photoperiod plants too, like someone I saw it way earlier in chat asking for tips on Mac 1. Well, Mac 1, I love that plant and I've grown it many, many times and I'm still growing it. And it has really tight node spacing, super nut tight node spacing. So that would also be another plant that could benefit in the veg stage with some far red to open it up a little bit and get it some size in veg because it's so slow. And if you put it in a veg spec with really high blue, it suppresses the red. With a plant that's already tight internode spacing, it's going to try to go even tighter internode spacing. So there are some outliers where having spectrum tuning can really help. There was a question in chat. Is there room enough on the Tent Ultimate to add a far red booster? Now, the booster bars don't connect to your existing lights. They're standalone lights, but you can, as long as you have physically enough room to hang them in there, you could put them, you can definitely put them in there. And I know on our Discord in the tent light forum or whatever you want to call it, discussion, I think it's the 5x5. Uh, there's a couple people in there using booster bars with their tent lights, and they absolutely fit in there with them. I think they've got them hung between the bars even.
Yeah, I don't have too much more than that. If there's anybody else that wants to quickly come up on the panel and ask a question, or else we can, I think, oh, it says invalid link. What about in my description of the video? Does that work? You know what's weird is I noticed in
Let
the
me find
description of,
it.
if you look in the description of my video, none of them are links. Have you noticed? Like they used to always be links, and they're not links anymore. You could like copy and paste it, but it doesn't have a link you can click on. What about for you? If you look in the description of YouTube?
I'll have to look. I don't know. I was trying to see. No, I'm copying the link. And I'm gonna put it into, maybe it only allows so many people to use that link. I'll put it in again.
Yeah, do that and then just pin it.
Well,
Just
I've
pin.
already put it in once and they said they clicked that link and it didn't work.
No, I
So
just meant I'll pin it to the top for people so that they can.
yeah, I put it, I just put the Discord link, but
Okay, it's pinned at the top. Now anybody can just click on it.
I don't know how to make another link besides that. Now let me go to
Yeah.
YouTube and check out yours and see if there's
Yeah,
links.
someone said not links.
Let's see.
And okay, Marcel will just message me later. Sorry, for some reason when I'm typing to you, it's not showing up. I after I end the show, it's gonna take me 15 minutes to eat dinner. I just had like some potato salad before the show, but I'll be around. We can fix the Discord. I don't know, like we have some crazy, for whatever reason, there's some weird settings that are making that is gonna try to correct for us. And yeah,
There's a
guys,
huge link in it is not a link, you're right. It's just like text, but I'm gonna copy it and paste it into YouTube. It is a giant link.
so Discord is awesome. Like what I love about it is
Well, it's an Instagram link. It's not even a Discord link.
you can totally share any videos. You can talk about anything. The only thing that we ask is that no wheeling and dealing, but that you can just be like, "Hey, hit me up on this thing," and like I'm sure you could find an alternative way to talk through one of something else, and just be like, if you need to talk to anybody, say, "Let's talk over there," but no wheeling and dealing. Um, and there's legitimate, really good people in there. I see a lot of people just volunteering their time to help other people, and it's an awesome community. I try to like,
All right,
the days where oh, sorry.
try to pin the one I just put in chat. That one I think will work. I just pulled that from what you had. So the link that
Yeah,
you have in
it said
YouTube.
replace pinned. So
Okay. the link that you had in the YouTube description is a link from Instagram that will open up Instagram and then reroute you to Discord. So you must have
Oh,
like posted it from an Instagram or something. There's so
is the one that you have right here like the permanent link that it
I
doesn't?
think that's the permanent link, the one that's you just pinned. So if you just have that one where it says it's HTTPS Discord, that's the one you want, not the one that starts with Instagram.
Yeah, okay. Oh man, it's making it.
I think that works. I don't know if it
Yeah.
maybe people
I'll
can
have to get it
try it.
updated. I have to figure out why. Like, there should be links to the website. I don't understand what's going on. Oh, by the way, everybody, I think we have our first container leaving for Germany in maybe 2 weeks. Like
Wow.
we do have a might be as long 3 weeks, but we do have a distributor now for Germany, Austria, Switzerland. They're going to be setting like they're in the process of building the website, but we'll like as soon as the shipping container leaves, we'll be launching everything with them and everything will be live. So stores will be able to pre-order like any store in from Germany, Austria, or Switzerland, you'll be able to order our lights. So I'm kind of excited
That's
about.
badass. Do we have anything in the UK?
We do right now. We have a
Okay.
distributor that has our lights there, so if you should be able to get them from any store. Um,
Nice. So that's a lot of Europe, not all of it, but a
yeah,
lot of it.
Grow Tech Distribution is what they're
Nice.
called. So you just have to tell. And there's lights that are landed. Like there's literally Borg Evos. I don't maybe not our full lineup, but there's definitely like Borg Evos, Torch 850s. I can't remember everything that they have, but there's definitely lights that are landed there.
So Bradston from the chat says they're in Germany, so should they wait to order?
Um, Depends on how long you can wait, but well, yeah. So if they're leaving in 3 weeks, I don't know how long the shipping container takes, but yeah, we're definitely going to be um announcing it and within the next like anytime. We're just waiting for the website to be built, I guess. So I'm ready for summer to be over, guys.
Yeah, there's lots to do in the summer, that's for sure.
Well, like we've
Gosh.
had fires that aren't
Yeah,
far from me. Like it got well, didn't you say you looked up my air quality? I forget what it was,
yeah,
but
it was garbage. It was like 194 or something. And I
out of
think
what? Out of like 210?
I don't know how high you can get, but I know that healthy is 0 to 50.
It
And
got
you're at well, like
we
194.
it got so bad that we were taping up doors for 2 days, like out of freaking no, like, well, we knew like the wind obviously changed course, and like I've had fire season, but this was like another level, like war zone everywhere. It just sucked. And then we got some rain and it slowed it down, and then the wind changed direction. Then we got some more rain. Fire is still going hard, but I think we're far enough in September. It was getting a little scary because it was like getting within like about a 10-minute drive from here. Um,
Damn.
but it's basically going the other well, we've had enough rain where like it did come down really hard for a day. But in September we usually get some rain, so I'm not so worried anymore. It was getting a little like lots of our friends like were on evacuation notice, and it's crazy.
Yeah, that's the scary stuff. Like, what do you do at that point? Just leave, huh? I mean, can you set up sprinkler systems and shit, or they
Yeah,
cost
well,
money?
I could put a sprinkler on my house, on top of my house, on top of my little shed where my generator is, and on top of the propane tank, and we have it and have generator and a tank to run it where it could run it for days. My only issue is the water. I would run out of water before I run out of power, even if all day we lose power.
So
Uh,
now the next thing is you're gonna have to get some big ass tanks,
well, no, like
pumping
I
water into.
I have a deal with like we have a 20 gallon a minute, but after 3 hours, it goes down to 3 gallons a minute and it never runs out. So the 3 gallons a minute is 100 and get is still a shitload of water if when it never runs out. But there's a person 2 doors down that's letting me put a well on their property, just on the very corner of the property, and we're going to have an easement. So we own it. And you can go 60, 70 feet down and get 100 gallons a minute. And I've got it approved by the city for us to drill a well over there and then run it along the road to my place. It's just I didn't have time to do it this year, but I'm planning on doing it next year, and then we'll just
You
put.
you know a drill guy, or how are you gonna drill it?
Yeah, no, I know someone
Oh,
that
okay.
like we've drilled since we've moved into this area. We've drilled 7 wells, like when we were looking for water. So I know it inside and out, and it's really affordable when you're only going 60 feet or 70 feet. It's gonna be sick.
Sounds like you put the drill guys' kids through schools, what it sounds like.
Oh, I learned a lot about drilling though, drilling 7 different wells and just about the whole process and everything. Um, all right, guys. Well, I think I'm ready to call it call it a day, and I'll send it to you, Russ, for shout outs. Big panel today.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to heat up a dab real quick. I'm got ready to relax.
Um, no, Branston, we normally would do it every single week, and I'm definitely going to try it from this point on. It's just it's tough when I've been traveling and just we've a lot's happened in the last few months, and we're pretty busy, but we're going to try to arrange it to be able to do it on Saturdays. Going to try to.
Summertimes is tough because
Yeah.
not all our normal stuff, and plus on top of that, you got, yard work and garden work and we're talking
Kids.
about just vegetable stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids
Kids,
on summer
sports.
vacation. 3 kids.
Yeah.
So it's been,
Sports and activities and all kinds of fun stuff.
yeah. Um, so
And you got your ripping your fingers off. And
yes. Well, I like my father-in-law got quoted. It was $10,000 to have a rock wall, like that was maybe about 100 feet, and I priced out the rock and all the material, and it was like $2,000. And I'm like, they're charging you $8,000 labor to run the machine for 2 days. So I brought my machine over, and that's like I said, I'll be able to finish it. Like it literally is maybe it's a little bit longer than I thought, maybe 3 days of work because I had to prep everything too. But I just wanted to save him the money. So, and he does like he also does a whole bunch of work for us. Like he does all our par maps and everything. He's an engineer, so he does all our CAD work. And yeah, like anytime he does a lot for us. So anytime he asks me to do something, if I can do it and help in any way, I do it. Uh, oh, Flower Child kids 6 and 4, I get it. Yeah, 5, 9, and 10, all girls. It's like every single night there's a fight. It's crazy. They're just at that age where, no, I just don't get why people just can't share everything, man. Share toys, like just so funny where they don't want to share something, and it's like
I'm convinced that kids can be the meanest things on earth. You gotta learn morality. They're not definitely not born with
what's funny is
it.
that my oldest could be, she's really sharp, but sometimes she can be really stubborn that way too, and she just doesn't want them using it or touching it or something, and then my youngest will do it right back. It's kind of funny, man.
Well, and then you'll have one like I was that kid. Like I'll see, my brother or sister being that way about something, and now I'm gonna just fuck with it just to fuck with you. I don't even care about it. I didn't want that thing. I just wanted to fuck with you. You know what I mean? Because I saw you were acting so strange about it.
Yeah. XRP dude says, don't forget to put a few bucks into crypto. Man, we missed the mark on XRP. It's so funny. I posted. Oh, actually, I don't know if I posted it. I thought I did. It was like these guys. It says it's like a meme, and it shows getting into
Oh,
crypto.
yeah, you posted that one.
They all are in like suits coming into a building, and then afterwards it shows them like, well, different guys, but coming out and fucking looking like bombs out of this house. It was so
He's
funny.
got this bodyguard.
No, you know what? I feel like I've missed the mark on crypto. I'm afraid, like I said, I've had some bad experiences in stock, and I just bet on myself. It's kind of how I like to do it. I've had those up and down of stocks, man. Like, yeah, I would love to get in on something, but I feel like I've just missed the mark on crypto, man. And I can't, like especially like they say Bitcoin's going up to 200K and now it's worth 166. Do you remember when Uncle Reefer on this show was telling
Absolutely.
everybody at 40 grand, or it was at 60 grand, and he was saying to go in. And I know he ended up getting killed because I think it went down before it went up. And I remember saying, "Oh man, I don't." He was right though, because like
Absolutely right. Yeah.
if you could have bought it and held on to it, you would have like tripled your money basically.
Dude,
More than triple your
I
money.
remember reading about Bitcoin in a PC magazine, and this was in the year, let me see, I was in San Antonio, so it was in like 98, 99-ish. Uh, and I even remember going to my computer and going to whatever the website it was and starting the process, but then it was getting to the point where you have to download a digital wallet. And that's what freaked me out. I'm like, what is this digital wallet bullshit? I'm not gonna fucking do all this fucking extra bullshit. I just want to buy some of this stuff because it was super cheap at the time. I mean, like pennies on the dollar. It was stupid.
Oh, my friend used to buy pizza with Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Like
those are
some
some
pizza
expensive fucking
places.
pizzas, man.
No, where it would be like hundreds of Bitcoins because it was so worthless, you know?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
And uh, and XRP, dude, I know someone that's deep with XRP. So my friend was telling me to buy it for a long time and I didn't listen. And obviously it's gone up a lot, but yeah. I know like it's being accepted in the United States pretty well. I can't remember all the stuff he told me, but months ago he was telling me that to, to continue to buy. Yeah, I'm just I guess I'm like a farmer. I like an honest income. Like I like to put in my do my work. No, I'm just no, I've just had too much traumatic stuff happen to me and seen some people lose everything. Like in one stock that I did get involved in that I actually cashed out up, I saw people lose everything where they own their homes, they mortgaged them, they put their absolute life savings and more on the line and lost it. It's crazy, man.
Oh,
So that,
thanks.
yeah, it's crazy. And what was so crazy when that stock happened, like they're like, don't worry on this date, it's gonna blow. And like on the date that they gave, it did blow. It went up like over a little over 100% on that date, and then it went back down. What's so sick is that I got in at an average of $1, and at one point I got out at $1.10. So like I actually made a little bit of money, but I then saw it go down to 3 pennies and then go back
Yeah,
up to
yeah.
80, then go back up to 80 cents though. Like if when I went down to 3 pennies, I thought it was done. I could have like I knew people that had put millions into it, like one person alone that had put 2.5 million bucks into it, and I could have got like an equal position to him for so cheap, which is crazy. But anyways, when you see that kind of stuff happen, and it's like, oh, yeah, I'm pretty conservative. Okay, well, I think did you do your shout out or not? You were gonna do the shout out and then you started doing a dab and then you
Oh, I
didn't.
did a dab instead. No, I think I completely forgot that. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Dab
Go
was
back to
good.
shout outs.
Yeah, shout out to, for one, everyone watching the show, man. It's cool that even though we're not a weekly show, we try to be, but if we take some weeks off, we can come back to it, and there's still plenty of people, and I'm sure there's a little bit of the micro controversy behind that, but still, this we uh we tend to have the same, like I'm seeing the same familiar faces again and again. So shout out to all those guys and girls that come and watch us week in, week out, if we're here or not. We appreciate that. It's why we do the show. And much love to everyone out there and keep growing.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, these edibles are hitting me like a brick wall now. I went inside and grabbed a bunch and oh man. But yeah, I want to just say thank you to everybody. It's crazy. In just the last couple of days, each day I've had hundreds of people message me. So I've talked to a lot of new people. Thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting. Um, yeah, we just really appreciate the support and we'll be back at it next week. Okay, guys. Thank you. Oh, wait, I'll quickly drop the Zoom link if anybody wants to wait, come in there for a second here. Let me copy the invite link. Okay, cheers, YouTube. We'll see you next week.